Guess you can see my screen.
Yeah, Nixon.
Okay. Good evening to all, as well as good morning to folks here. My name is Nixon Edward. Let me get to introduction here. A very quick introduction. After a heavy dosage of blockchain technology, I just wanted to take a lighter note to talk to you guys. I did my bachelor's and master's from 1988 to 93, as Bartolome said. Uh, when I grew up, we were taught four things in order of preferences or importance: Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. And today is the first opportunity I got to address my college back. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank all my gurus. I remember each and every one of them, starting from Joseph, Ravindran, Arakim Sir, Rabera, Charles, Francis Xavier, Clement Michael, Wilson, and so on and so forth. There were a lot more, but these are my favorites. So thank you very much. And I also want to thank the organizers of this event. I mean, starting with the data science professors, Bartolome, Sundar, Jiva. I saw even Murali there after a long time and didn't know on Saveri. Uh, Actually, this is a big sacrifice, guys. And I really appreciate that you are doing this on our behalf. I mean, spending this time, Bartolome getting at 4:30 in the morning. it's it's great that that we find this initiative to give back to our college and appreciate that. Uh, like I said, after my graduation, I moved out of India very quickly. As a matter of fact, in a couple of years, I went to Singapore, and then from there on, came to United States. I have my family here. I have three kids. I have a daughter who's 20 years old, doing her second year psychology in the University of Georgia. I have a son who is 10 years old, and he's doing his fourth grade. And I have another son who is 4 years old. He's a Yorkie Shih Tzu dog. Um, so being here 25 years, did a lot of things. Uh, Tried startups, tried entrepreneurships, and now I'm actually working for a company which actually gives mortgages to people for their homes. Um, I'm a music lover. My hobbies are music, tennis, and I'm an amateur guitarist. I try to learn and play myself, and then I'm an amateur golfer as well. So when Bartolome contacted me and said, Nixon, we have these data science kids studying data science, and is there something that you can present to these guys? I said, எனக்கு அவ்வளவு சரக்குலாம் இல்லப்பா data science-லாம். ஆனா I wanted to see if I can give back to these kids and share my experience, of course, along with my buddy Rocky, what we went through. So like I see 88 kids or I don't know, 88 students, I don't know which year they are, but we were in the same boat as you guys. உங்கள மாதிரி தான் நாங்களும் இருந்தோம். That time, computer science was very new. We didn't know what we were going to do, but that was something that we were going to venture out, try to figure out what we can do. So I said, you know what, why don't we put something called power of positive thinking? I'm not a psychiatrist, but this is not a psychological lecture or anything. This is just a session to share our experience, what we went through, our failures, our success. And if out of this, at least a few of you gain something and or we inspire or motivate you, that'll be really great. So having given my introduction, I'll let Rocky take over and give his introduction.
Thanks, Nixon, for the introduction. And thank you, everyone, for arranging this event. As Nixon said, Nixon, Bert, and Thomas, and we are all classmates, along with others like I think Saveriar was also there. Hi, Saveriar, Murali. And I completed my post-graduation in 1993. And at that time, computer science also was a hard degree. You know, it was difficult to get a seat in any college for the computer science degree. Similarly, I think you're also guys on the right course, which is data science. Everybody and every company looks for data science. So I think you're in the right course. At the same time, what I think is I think you'll be graduating out in next year, like 2022. And this, whatever experience that we share, I think it will be helpful to you guys so that you can plan out the rest of the year, the next year, how to get out into the world and how the world is going to treat you to know all that. In that regards, I think it will be a good talk, I think. And also, in spite of Valentine's Day, joining the Zoom call is also is great. And after I joined, I went to Chennai for a software job in Aramco Systems, and then I moved to US and worked there again as a software programmer. And then I think you guys by now, you know, Rajesh, I think. And myself and Rajesh, we started a company and we did a product and we sold it to another company. And then I came back to India because I want to live in India. And I was there in India for about like 15 years. And then I came back to currently I'm in the US right now, along with my family. So one thing that I feel defines me is about the hunger for latest technology, being always to know about the latest technologies, like, you know, what is data science, what is computer vision, what is a Bitcoin and all that. So that kind of keeps me in the forefront, but also it has got its own disadvantages too. Like, for example, after learning Bitcoin technologies, I was very negative about it. Hey, I should not even invest my money in Bitcoin. On the other hand, my son was excited to invest in Bitcoin, but I never invested in Bitcoin. But today, you know, Bitcoin was worth a few cents like 10 or 15 years ago. It was even $500 a year ago, but today it's $45,000. So today I look like an idiot, but still, you know, I'm not able to convince myself that buying Bitcoins is good after learning all the technologies. And I also like teaching, and I like to share knowledge with others. That is something that I love to do, actually. And so looking back, like probably like 27 years ago, I think. So I was when I joined the St. Joseph's College, and St. Joseph's College, one thing I like about the college is they always have the best facilities. It's up to you to explore those best facilities. For example, when I joined the college, they had a Unix systems, which I think most of the colleges did not have at that time. And so they always provided us the best, and also I think later on they provided internet services, all that I think when you guys in the college. So in that way, they always provide a very good environment. Like I used to go to the computer center. They used to even provide manuals. You can go ahead and read it, and you can write your own programs and experiment it. So in that way, the college was allowing me to explore whatever I wanted it. And the other thing is about the teachers. Like I remember Professor Ravindran, he used to do a lot of extra work during the practicals. Like I think we had digital electronics, I think. So he used to, because I used to complete the digital electronics work a little bit faster. So he used to give me more problems. That's kind of encouraging us. And like Professor Arockiaraj, he used to encourage us when we go for competitions. He used to get us the permission slips, and Jayvalan sir, he used to talk about a lot of other topics, not only about subject topics, also he talks about what's happening in Japan, what's happening in Europe, like that. So that was, I used to wonder like how people gather knowledge, even in those days where internet was not there. And Joe sir was, you know, he was a math whiz. He used to always excite us about his mathematical skills. Another thing about the team spirit and the friends that we had, it was an excellent group, I think. We used to go out for college competitions. I think we went as far as probably Tirunelveli, where we used to go there and participate in the competitions. Of course, we won some prizes also. And so that kind of binds us together, and also it helps us to understand each other. So these competitions, they helped me a lot. And that's how we even identify each other. Like, okay, he's good in this part. Like, for example, Rajesh, he's more, even though he knows technology, but he's more interested in business aspects of it. That's why I joined with them to form the company. Also, he actually recommended me to work in a computer center. I think it's Computer Rock. I'm not sure if it's there right now. And he was the one to recommend me to work there. I worked as a tutor there actually when I was studying MSc computer science. And another thing is about the final year project. I'm sure when final year project comes, you guys will bind together much more than what we were. Like we used to rent computers, okay? And we used to share the computers. I mean, you can't imagine like how people did not have their own computers, but that's how it was. In fact, in the college, we only had 3 hours per week, I think, to access the computers. So that's how it was. And Rajesh used to have a printer, which we use it, but actually it was his brother's office printer. So we go to his home, take printouts, and submit it for the for the project. So that's how we worked as a team. So I think that kind of bound us all together. And in essence, what we got out was the self-confidence. Yes, I can survive in this world. And with friends like these, then definitely I can. And we had also like, there are other funny things that happened during our time was the companies will recruit people only if you have a Chennai address. If you have an address which is in Trichy or in any other place, they won't call you even for interview. So we used to have one friend's home and all the letters used to go to his house. So that's how, the friendship is very important and binding together is very important. Okay. Over to you, Nixon.
So thank you, Rocky. So as Rocky spoke about his life in St. Joseph's, this is going to be mine. You would have noticed a difference in the slide. His slide has some mathematical equations, formulas, and mine is a dog playing a ball. That was my life. I loved it. It was one of the best days of my life. I loved each and every, like I said, the faculties, my friends. I remember each and every one of them by name, even now. I mean, Thomas put that photograph when he started the session. I still have that in my phone, and now and then just look at it. So that experience I want to share to you and tell you guys, enjoy. This is the time you need to really enjoy. When I say enjoy, I mean, just be free birds. St. Joseph's gives you that, and also make sure that you don't fall astray. And that's what St. Joseph's gave me, is that kind of a balanced, principled education, as well as giving me life's education as well. So don't lose this time, especially with your friends. Strong relationships gets built at this time, within among yourselves. And I see there are 88 kids in this session. We as a group have stayed together even now. And with the technology available, you guys can still stay together as well. So still going back to the topic, positive thinking, what did St. Joseph's give me? And that's the same thing that you guys are going through right now. We don't realize that when we were in college. Collegeல படிக்கும்போது St. Joseph's என்ன எனக்கு கொடுத்தலாம், we all came, we studied, we did our part. But what St. Joseph's gave me is affordable education. I am also, like you guys, coming from a middle class, lower middle class. St. Joseph's gave me that opportunity to get educated in the latest technology back then. I think we were the fourth set of computer science graduates. So St. Joseph's gave me a strong foundation. Rocky was talking about self-confidence. That is very important. And I can guarantee you that you all guys will be coming out with strong foundations. வடிவேல் ஒரு படத்துல சொல்ற மாதிரி body weak, basement strong என்ற மாதிரி, even though you get through some of the struggles, but once you have this basement, which is the foundation strong, you'll be successful. So that's what St. Joseph's gave me. Forget about technology, teaching, programming. That all comes along, because once you have that foundation, it will help you. Even though, like Rocky was saying, we had very less equipment, very less amount of time, we built relationships, especially with our professors. I think we were very lucky to say that most of our professors are also our age group, kind of like maybe 5 years senior to us, or so that gave us the opportunity to be in a respectful relationship with our professors as well as a friendly relationship. I mean, at class, we should have fun. Um, Ravindran sir, I remember he used to write an equation and then he say, "Hey, Arockiaraj, the parra, the karta." I mean, it was more of a discussion and trying to find out as a group, which really helped us to go and figure out on our own a lot of things. And they helped us to do that as well. One other thing I want to share is some of the things we did not have, which you guys should be thinking now, which is the exam based skill based learning, right? Uh, Unfortunately, back then, computer science was new. We had limited resources. We did not have the internet. We did not have cell phones. In fact, we did not even have phones. I mean, we used to take copies of a parallel processing book, which Professor Rabera took us. First 10 pages, போய் students Xeroxல போய் Xerox எடுத்துட்டு, one evening at 6 o'clock, I go and drop it at Rajesh's house. And then for after 1 hour, that guy picks up that book. He comes all over to Crawford. Guy lives in Cantonment. He drives all the way to Crawford, where I used to live, and he used to drop that. And then within another half an hour, Valand used to come and pick up that 10 pages of parallel processing, which we were preparing for our next day exam. But still, as a group, we were able to figure that out without any kind of assistance. Now you have all this resources available. So you need to put good use of that. So talking about exam is a skill-based learning. I shouldn't say that in this forum. I don't know how people will react to it. Grades, does it matter? Yes, it does matter. But not everybody can take grades, right? It is part of that learning experience where some classes or some courses may not fit you at all. You may not be able to get that. That's okay. You should be able to figure out what is suited for you in terms of within the data science courses itself, and try to focus on that and not worry about I am not able to ace this subject. I mean, we had a lot of subjects in our class like electronics, which was a little difficult for us, discrete mathematics. I mean, we all struggled in certain areas, but we performed better in certain areas. Why I'm saying this is because you guys also may go through the same thing. I'm not able to follow this. The only thing you need to do from that aspect is put in the effort. You have to put in the effort. Now, what the outcome of that should not matter. We did enjoy our life. We did do all the things that a college kid needs to do and learn from our mistakes. But at the same time, we focused on what we need to do with regards to learning, especially with the limited resource we have, learning with skill-based learning. So that's my life there. And from then on, after 3 years, the question comes, what next? Or after 2 years? One thing I like to tell you is all of us, I remember when we joined in 88, our class, I think every one of us had some kind of a goal in our head. We may not have expressed that outright, but I did figure. So BSc, we joined bachelor's. What was our goal? Okay, we need to study well, make sure that we are able to get an admittance for MSc in some shape or form, figure it out, and then do your master's. And after that, we go figure out to get a job. Like I said, back then, the technology was new. We did not know how computer science was going to be implemented in the business world. There was not a lot of implementation of computers back then in India. People used, they bought computers just then when we were doing our degree. Microsoft Windows was not even there when we did our bachelor's. It was all Magnix, this Unix implementation. In fact, Windows came only after we did our master's. So we didn't have expertise or anything in there as well. Fox Pro, Foxbase, DBase was our tool back then, which companies were using. So considering where we were, I think you are on the right spot. You guys are doing data science. I mean, today, data is key. If somebody is going to come and give me $1 million and say, take this, Nixon. Or they're going to come and tell me, I got 50,000 email addresses and Facebook profiles and Google profiles. Do you want that or $1 million? I'll take the 50,000 emails and profiles because I can make multiple millions out of that data. And you guys are on the data science course curriculum, which is very key. I mean, today data is key. It is much valuable than money because with data, you can do anything you can and you can monetize it. You can come up with good things you can do for the society. There are a lot of things like Thomas was mentioning. India is way behind in terms of implementing this technology, not because we don't have money, not because the resources are not available. We are all focused on our livelihoods, which we are all at some point when we get to a point in life where we want to settle down, we all think through. But there's so much opportunity, especially in India, with regards to data, how you use it, how you monetize it, how you use it for the benefit of the society as well. So you guys are on the right spot. Be happy, be confident about it. Set your goals right out of the gate, right? I don't know how many of you are the first year of your degree or how many of you are really in the last years of your degree, but set your goals right out of the bat. Think big. I am very fortunate to have a perennial entrepreneur in my class, Rajesh Vidhachalam. We were the last benchers. That guy was always talking about doing something. I mean, he was the only guy who was able to actually go to United States when he was studying. And every time he comes back and says, hey, guy, we need to do this, man. If we start this company, why don't we do this? This was something that started among us. He was not forced into thinking that way. So some of you guys in your own class, just start that conversation. Think big. Don't think small in the sense you may not be able to achieve what you think immediately, but at some point that will be the right road that you may have to take. You may be confused. Do I need to do this or no, do I need to do that? Start investing time. That is this, like I said, this is the best time of your life, and you will have all the time you need. After you graduate out of college, life is completely different. Start investing time. Learn newer technologies if possible. Try to do part-time job. We all did, not just necessarily for money, but at least get the exposure to go in an environment and see what are the requirements, how things work. It's very important because that will give you a good stepping stone into thinking what you really want to do after you graduate. Take up small-time jobs. I mean, there are so many avenues right now. It is available, and don't be scared. Don't be scared of losing, because sometimes you fall, you get up, and keep going. Save money if possible. That's one of the advices I can give. I don't know how much you can, but something which I did not do, even though I had some kind of an income flowing in, which will really help you to start a venture on your own. Who knows? Keep up with the technology, newer technologies. Like one of the technology Thomas was talking about, blockchain, new. We were in the same boat as you were guys back then. Computer science was new. Take up all the newer anything that comes out right now. For example, the language R. Just look at it. It's very suited for you guys to do data mining, data analytics, big data, etc. Another thing is build a network, especially with your seniors, your peers, and your faculty. I really appreciate Argam sir's endeavor here, because if we had this before like this, things would have been different. I don't know. But I think you guys are very fortunate to be having this kind of a forum where you're able to connect with people, not necessarily us, I'm saying the technology sphere, where you're able to network with people. After I graduated, the first thing I did was pass on my resume to my seniors. That's all I did. I had a few friends who were seniors, and went to their company they were working, and I just gave my resume. I do not know whether I'll get in or not. Back then it was very difficult. And now also it is very competitive. I'm not saying it is very easy to get a job, but build a network. Start creating a profile for yourself, what you are in terms of what you are capable of doing, what you are. You have to choose a unique expertise area. For example, data science, data key. Next word, security. I know experts here, Bartolom, Sundar, and all working on the security area would have already spoken to you about data security. That's a big concept. Going forward in the next 10 years, I say cyber war, cyber crime, security, these are going to be big. There's a lot of careers that are going to open up just in these areas of security. I mean, people make a living hacking data, just like that. And things are happening over here, and especially in India, it's a growing market. So you should be able to find a focus area. And that's what I said, set your goals straight. Just pick one area of your expertise. Don't worry about being as a whole, and build a profile for yourself. At your age, at the age you are, and if you are graduating this year, it's really natural to not know what to do. We were in the same boat. Uh, we didn't know. We just thought computer science was new. We had the God's blessing to get that education, and we were just trying to figure out, let's study, let's pick up what the technology is and all that stuff. But once I stepped out of college, I didn't know what to do. But at the same time, I was a little confident that I will be able to put my foot in the door at Alpha Company just because of my education, just because of my institution. And that confidence really helped me. So it's okay to not know. It's okay to be fearful, but don't lose confidence. The path you are taking today may be the most important, and the most important path after you graduate, right? Or even while you're studying to get graduated, because this gives you an opening into who you are going to be at the after many years. And I think St. Joseph's College really helped me, and I'm really grateful for that, to help me make that choice, the right decision. I'll lead this to Rocky. Um, Rocky, you got it?
Yeah, got it, Nixon. Thanks, Nixon. So I want to talk about, so how do we, what are the options available once you leave your college? Basically, you leave your cocoon to fly out and venture out and think about all the possibilities that's there available to you. So the way I'm just going to summarize my journey of the entrepreneurship and what it all means to me. So for job, I joined Chennai, and I think Ramco Systems. I think you all guys would be aware of that company name. What Ramco Systems did was they were developing an ERP product, and that is the first time I'm hearing the word ERP. I'm thinking about the word softwares. I mean, how seriously it is being used in companies. So what Ramco Systems did was avangaloda branches, for example, the cement industry, their sugarcane industry. I mean, they have a lot of industries. But a lot of data they want to aggregate, and they want to understand what is happening across the companies, because it is all run by one owner. So the owner wants to know which company is giving me profit and to which company should I invest more. So that's how I was part of the development team of this ERP product called Ramco Marshall. And then after a year or so, then I moved to US to implement that product for their real customers in US. So what they did was, after just implementing it for their companies, now they want to implement it for the companies in US. So I was a little bit excited that, now I wrote code when I was in Chennai, and it was all done internally. I didn't know like how the external world was viewing it. So now I went to US, and in US, I'm going to the companies where I have to go and implement it. And it was a great shock to me. The reason being, நான் எது பண்ணாலும் பார்த்தா ஏதாவது ஒரு சேஞ்ச் இருக்கும். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஒரு கம்பெனிக்கு போனோம்னா எங்களுக்கு இன்வாய்ஸ்லாம் வேண்டாம், எங்களுக்கு ப்ரொஃபார்மா இன்வாய்ஸ் வேணும். இன்னொரு கம்பெனிக்கு போனோம்னா சேல்ஸ் ஆர்டர் வேண்டாம் எங்களுக்கு எங்களுக்கு inventory management போதும். So have to keep on doing code changes for each implementation. So what happened was it became a problem of maintenance. Tomorrow they want to change the process again. I have to go and rework all the coding, whatever I have done. So it was also tiring and also irritating because I'm doing the same job day in and day out. Today I write code for these ஒரு 10 ஃபீல்டுக்கு, அடுத்த நாளைக்கு பார்த்தா இன்னொரு 10 ஃபீல்டுக்கு நம்ம புதுசா கோட் எழுத போறோம். இப்படிதான் மாத்தி மாத்தி பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருந்தோம். So I was thinking, like, why don't we automate this? Why don't we come up with a product which will automatically do all this? So அப்பதான் வந்து, as usual, Rajesh, he was also there in US at that time. And I just told him like, hey, oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, go ahead and mature that idea. Apro 2 years to mature that idea. And he was actually funding me actually to, run that venture. Then I had this idea and we kind of, ஒரு மாதிரி டெமோ பண்ற ஸ்டேஜுக்கு கொண்டு வந்துட்டோம் அந்த ப்ராடக்டை. That was called financial dashboard. Upon it is around the year 1998 or something like that, wherein the internet just started booming. So they wanted to bring என்னெல்லாம் வந்து நம்ம டெய்லி கடைக்கு போவோமோ அதெல்லாமே ஆன்லைன்ல கொண்டு வர ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. லைக் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஒரு பேங்க்குக்கு போகணும், போய் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் பார்க்கணும்னா இப்போ அப்படி கிடையாது. You go to the internet, you can see your bank statements. So that was the transition that was happening from the physical stores to the virtual stores. So one of the things that we were trying to do was, if people usually in US have accounts in more than 4 or 5 banks, like trading account இருக்கும், அப்புறம் ஒரு banking account இருக்கும், retirement accounts, நிறைய accounts இருக்கும். So அவங்க ஒவ்வொரு சைட்டா லாகின் ஆகி பார்க்கறது பதிலா, you give us the username and password, we will go log in on behalf of you and get all this information. So and the product பண்ணினோம், and we sold it to another company. That's what happened. But one key thing that I want you to understand is it all came up because of our experience in that particular industry. It's not like, out of the blue or this totally unrelated to us. It was something that I knew it and something that Rajesh can relate to. Rajesh was a very, very business savvy person. For example, he used to trade stocks when I was in US, but at that time I did not even know what a stock was. So that's how business savvy Rajesh is all about. He always talks about ROI, return on investment. So I put 100 rupees, what do I get back? So that's how he thinks. But I was thinking only about technology. Okay, this is a cool technology, so people can use it and all that. He was always saying like, so that is part A of the problem, but part B is somebody has to come and buy your product. Otherwise, what's the point? So that's how he taught me some business terminologies also. So what is entrepreneurship is about the individuality or about the individual thinking is what matters a lot. And the way I started off is, it's not just by starting a company you become an entrepreneur. The moment you start thinking about an idea and putting forth to people, you become an entrepreneur. So for example, when I was working in Ramco Systems Chennai, we had a Windows help system. It had a particular format, and then we migrated to another format. But the migration was manual. So I wrote a code, a small tool, not a big tool, but small tool to convert this Windows format to the newer format that they were talking about. And now what happened in days now just happened in few minutes. So that's when people start appreciating it. Hey, okay, here is a tool which we all can use. So that is where your entrepreneurship begins. So you don't have to mistake it like you have to start your own company, nothing like that. Any idea which will improve a business is a good idea. And the moment you start owning those ideas, then you become an entrepreneur. The downside of entrepreneurship when you start a company of your own is you need to think about the high risk, high reward problem. People always might encourage you around you saying like, okay, you take as much risk as possible because you will get as much reward as possible. But what I want you to think at the back of your mind is, can I afford the loss? High risk, high reward, that is understood. But what if the reward is very low? Can I afford it? So I think that is what will define your level of, involvement in this entrepreneurship. And as I told you, you have to always think about a problem that you have in your hand. Like, for example, today, as Nixon said, there are tons and tons of data people want to use. For example, one recent idea was like, they want to know if I release, they want to know the feedback on latest products. For example, Sony releases a new TV or Coca-Cola releases a new drink. They want to know, hey, is this, whatever the products that I released right now, is it well received by people? Do people like it or not? So what a company, what they did was, they go to Facebook account, Twitter account, Instagram account, whatever the other social media, LinkedIn. So they go to many of these sites and they try to find out, is there anybody talking about Coca-Cola or about the Sony TV? And then they try to understand from that whether they give a positive opinion about that product or did they give a negative opinion about that product. And based on that, they tell the company, hey, this is what people are feeling about your product. So all this is possible right now because of all these social media websites and so much of data being generated. Or to be more specific, even my company is depending on data science for their business. For example, what happens in US is there are something called lead generation companies, which is like, I'm not sure that they do it in, I think they do it in India too. The mall எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்க பேரு அட்ரஸ் கொடுங்க, உங்க குலுக்கல் முறையில் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு கார் அளிக்கப்படும், பரிசு அளிக்கப்படும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. The reason is, அது ஏன் பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னா உங்களோட டேட்டாவை வாங்கறதுக்கு தான். அண்ட் இந்த டேட்டா வந்து முக்காவாசி கரெக்டா இருக்கும். இப்போ இதே ஒரு வெப்சைட்ல போய் உங்க டேட்டாவை கேட்டோம்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், நீங்க வந்து சும்மா கூட ஒரு பேர் அடிச்சுக்கலாம். பட் இந்த மாதிரி சமயத்துல நீங்க வந்து உண்மையான டேட்டா கொடுக்க விரும்புவீங்க. ஏன்னா ஒருவேளை குலுக்கல் முறையில் நமக்கு கிடைச்சிருச்சுன்னா நம்ம தப்பான ஃபோன் நம்பர் கொடுத்து நமக்கு வராம போயிடுமே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு பீப்புள் வில் கிவ் த ரியல் டேட்டா. நான் இந்த டேட்டாவை எடுத்துட்டு போய் அவங்க வந்து எல்லா கம்பெனிஸ்டையும் கொடுப்பாங்க. இந்த மாதிரி மாலுக்கு வந்தாங்க, இதுதான் அவங்களோட ட்ரெஸ் அப்படின்னு. அப்புறம் அவங்க வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா, இதை வந்து அவங்க நிறைய கம்பெனிஸ் விற்பாங்க. லைக் டூரிசம் கம்பெனிஸ், தே வில் கால் யூ, நீங்க சிங்கப்பூருக்கு போக விரும்புறீங்களா? அப்புறம் ரியல் எஸ்டேட் கம்பெனிஸ், டி யூ வாண்ட் டு பை அ ப்ராடக்ட், இடம் வாங்கணுமா உரகுடம் பக்கத்துல, மிக மிக அருகில், சென்னைக்கு மிக மிக அருகில். ஸோ அதெல்லாம் வந்து, ஸோ நவ் பீப்புள் ஹவ் ஃபவுண்ட் அவுட் டன்ஸ் அண்ட் டன்ஸ் வே ஆஃப் ஜெனரேட்டிங் திஸ் டேட்டா. ஸோ அதே மாதிரி இன் யூஎஸ் ஆல்சோ பீப்புள் ஹேவ் வெப்சைட்ஸ். இப்போ உங்களுக்கு ஹோம் லோன் ஒன்று வேணும் அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு ஒரு 10 வெப்சைட் இருக்கு. அந்த வெப்சைட்ல போய் உங்களோட இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் போடுவீங்க. அவங்களோட அட்ராக்ஷன் பாயிண்ட் என்ன, நாங்க வந்து உங்களுக்கு பெஸ்ட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் ரேட் வாங்கி தரோம், உங்களுக்கு குறைச்ச இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் ரேட் வாங்கி தரோம் அப்படிம்பாங்க. அவங்க போய் எங்க டேட்டா போடுவாங்க, அவங்கள்ட்ட இருந்து நாங்க இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் வாங்கி அப்புறம் நாங்க கூப்பிடணும். பட் இப்போ ஆன்லைன் வேர்ல்ட்ல வந்து அது ஒரு லோனு 2 லோன் அந்த மாதிரி வராது. எங்களுக்கு வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு நாளைக்கே வந்து 50,000 60,000 ஃபோன் நம்பர்ஸ் வரும் to call to find out whether they want a home loan or not. இப்போ இந்த 50,000 ஃபோன் நம்பர்ல we have to reduce it to 100 or maybe like 1,000. அது எப்படி பண்றது? அதுதான் வந்து இட்ஸ் டேட்டா சயின்ஸ். ஸோ இந்த டேட்டா சயின்ஸ் அப்ரோச்சை யூஸ் பண்ணி we also have data scientist team also. So data science யூஸ் பண்ணி யார் எந்த ஃபோன் நம்பருக்கு நம்ம முதல்ல கால் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. So that is how we are also using it on a day in and day out basis. So that's how much data science is used. Now data science is like software in our days, where every company needed a software, like as simple as Tally software. அதெல்லாம் நீங்க கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்கன்னு தெரியல. That is a financial product software. எல்லா கம்பெனிஸும் will have that. So அதே மாதிரி இப்போ data science is something like a fundamental requirement in all companies because they want to improve their business, and the only way they could improve their business right now is data science. And from an idea perspective, you get ideas only from your experience, not out of the blue. And it could be as simple as ஏதாவது ஒரு சின்ன டூல் பண்ணலாம், இல்லை ஒரு ப்ராசஸ் நம்ம இப்படி நம்ம பண்ணினா நம்ம we can do a better job than this அந்த மாதிரி. Or you can write your own libraries, or you can even வெளியில இருக்கிற ஒரு லைப்ரரியை கொண்டு வந்து உங்க கம்பெனிக்கு அடாப்ட் பண்ணி அதை பண்ணலாம். So there are several ideas that you can have. Now in today's world, especially for the data scientists, there's a site called kaggle.com. I'm not sure whether you're aware of it or not. Kaggle.com, they have list of all data science projects. Like, for example, you have Netflix, Amazon videos, Amazon Prime videos. Now, Netflix, when they want to know, they want to suggest movies to you based on whatever your viewership was. Okay, he used to watch comedy movies. Okay, let's suggest another comedy movie. He used to watch horror movies. Let's suggest some horror movies. Something like that. Okay, that is one part, looking at your history. And they make another important research is there a person who is similar to this person? Is there a person who is similar to Bartolome and what movies he is watching? So on the Bartolome மாதிரியே இன்னொருத்தர் இருந்தாருன்னா அவர் என்ன மூவிஸ்லாம் வாட்ச் பண்றாரோ அதை வந்து பர்த்தலோமுக்கு சஜஸ்ட் பண்றது. ஏன்னா பர்த்தலோமோட ஹிஸ்டரி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மேபி ஒரு 1 year கழிச்சு தான் ஒரு ஹிஸ்டரியே கிடைக்கும் நமக்கு. எவ்வளவு மூவிஸ் பார்த்துருக்கிறாரோ அதை பொறுத்து தான் நமக்கு கிடைக்கும். பட் நமக்கு வந்து இன்னைக்கு பர்த்தலோமுக்கு சஜஸ்ட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா நமக்கு வந்து பர்த்தலோம் மாதிரியே இன்னொரு ஆள் கிடைக்கணும். அண்ட் அதெல்லாம் வந்து the latest data science technologies are there to explore all such ideas. And the Kaggle.com, I want to be particular about that, is all the competitions are open. So you can go to the Kaggle.com site, you can download the data, and you can participate in that competition. And you can also upload your algorithm or your code, and they will run it and tell you how good your algorithms. They are basically going to rank it. நீங்க rankல கீழ இருந்தா கூட பரவாயில்ல, it doesn't matter. But what the world wants is நீங்க பண்ணீங்களா? At least did you attempt to do it? Which means you at least have the basic knowledge of that data science. அப்படின்னு ப்ரூஃப் பண்றதுக்கு நீங்க இந்த Kaggle.com வெப்சைட்ல போயிட்டு ஏதாவது நீங்க as an individual பண்ணணும் கூட அவசியம் கிடையாது. As a team also you can do it. You can go to Kaggle.com and see that. And also உங்க கோட பப்ளிஷ் பண்றதுக்கு you can use GitHub like accounts. So the GitHub accountல வந்து என்னன்னா it's a free service தான். நீங்க போய் உங்களோட source code upload பண்ணலாம் and somebody else can download it. The advantage of GitHub is also like people can comment on your code saying like, hey, நீ இதை அப்படி பண்ணிக்கலாம், அதை அப்படி பண்ணிக்கலாம், something like that. So that could be a starting point for your data scientists like you to explore how the world is needing data science. So that is what it's about, the ideation phase. If you want to get any ideas about, where to apply data science, then you can go to these sites and you can find out how to do that. And as usual, if you want to form a team, then go with your friends initially because you know them very well. And that any team that you form, you need to have a trust factor. Like, for example, in my case, myself was there, Rajesh was there, another classmate of mine by the name Lenny, it's a Leonard, he's an Oracle expert. So I was on the Java side and Lenny was on the Oracle side, the database side, and Rajesh was on the business side. So it was like a perfect team to get any company up and running. So you need to find out friends like that. And I mean, any person for that matter of fact, but make sure that there's a trust factor built among you guys. And of course, entrepreneurship also means the other things. You may have to make some sacrifices. Like you may have to spend time more about thinking about your idea, exploring about your ideas. And you're going to lose some fun part. For example, your friend may call for a movie, but you may say, no, I can't do it. So those kind of strain will be there. You may have to lose some fun part. And this also relates to some relationship issues also with your friends, that somebody may get upset because you never came to their function or you didn't, spend time with them. All that issues will be there, which you may have to explain and keep going with that. And money may be an issue too, because if it is your own business, then you may have to put your own money. That may also be a problem. And most important thing is about the entrepreneurship is learning to take criticisms. So யாராவது உங்க ப்ராடக்டை பார்த்து இது நல்லாவே இல்லை, இது ரொம்ப மொக்க ப்ராடக்ட் இருக்கு அப்படின்னா அது நீங்க ரொம்ப வருத்தப்பட தேவை கிடையாது. நீங்க வந்து என்ன யோசிக்கணும், ஓகே அப்ப இது நல்லா ஆக்குறது, ஏன் இது நல்லா இல்லை அப்படிதான் யோசிக்கணுமே வெளியே இவன் இப்படி பேசிட்டான், இது நான் பண்ண ஐடியா வேஸ்ட் போல இருக்கு அப்படிலாம் யோசிக்கக்கூடாது. You should have to think like, okay, they said something. The biggest appreciation for you is criticism. ஒரு நிமிஷம் அவன் உங்க ப்ராடக்டை பார்த்து அதுக்கு ஒரு ஃபீட்பேக் வேற கொடுத்துருக்கானா, அதுவே உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு பெரிய பரிசா நீங்க நினைச்சுக்கணும். That is how it works actually in the world. Social media websites, that's how you have to think. So another criticism is எடுத்துக்க பார்த்துக்கங்க. And the sacrifices that I did was, of course, I put in some money. I didn't send money to my family in India. All that was happened. And of course, I couldn't go with my friends wherever they went, like for example, the movies, or they want to go to the parties. I didn't go there. I was not able to go for all the parties. So those are the sacrifices. But if you look after a successful entrepreneurship, these will all go away and you will definitely be much a happier person. Okay, so this is basically my journey of entrepreneurship. So just to summarize, entrepreneurship is more about your individual ideas, your confidence in that idea, and selling your idea to others. That is a more important aspect. And it's not that you should start your own company. That's not required. But the idea is, and the confidence is what matters a lot. Okay. So Nixon, I think over to Nixon to talk about the success.
Okay, I think we are at the final stage of our discussion. So I specifically chose these pictures here for a reason. Success is a very relative factor. Nobody can define that other than you. The society should not define how successful you are. You should define how successful you want to be. சில பேருக்கு வந்துட்டு நிறைய காசு பண்ணணும், சில பேருக்கு நான் ஒரு கம்பெனி ஆரம்பிச்சு நிறைய பேருக்கு எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் கொடுக்கணும், சில பேருக்கு காலையில எந்திரிச்சு நல்லா காஃபி குடிச்சிட்டு 9 o'clock வேலைக்கு போனோமா, 5 மணிக்கு வீட்டுக்கு வந்தோமா, சந்தோஷமா ஒரு சினிமாவை பார்த்தோமா, படுத்தோமா அப்படின்னு இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு அது ஒரு சக்சஸ். தட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ ஃபைன். What is my success? Very recently, like I work for a mortgage company. So when I joined the company, I think 6 years ago, mortgage அப்படின்னா வீட்டுக்கு ஹோம் லோன் கொடுக்குறோம். Normally it takes like anywhere from 45 days to 60 days ஒரு மார்கேஜ் வாங்குறதுக்கு. இங்க வீடு வச்சிருக்கிறவங்க நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரியும் எவ்வளவு நாள் எடுத்துச்சு அப்படின்ட்டு. நிறைய பேப்பர் ஒர்க்கு மாத்தி கொடுக்கணும். ஸோ நான் ஜாயின் பண்ணும் போது I was part of the technology team, and so they were like, we need to reduce this time. So the first goal, what we did, and what Arockiaraj said about data mining and using the data we had, we started building automations. யார் அது ஒரு பார்வர் மட்டும் வந்து காசு கேட்கறான் அப்படின்னா அவன்கிட்ட கேட்காமையே நம்ம என்னென்ன வச்சு வாங்க முடியுமோ மற்ற கம்பெனிஸ் மூலியமா டேட்டாவை. So we reduced the time to fund a loan from 45 to 60 days to 15 to 30 days. Now we are even doing less than 15 days on some loans. So that's one success I think that I did for my company or the company I work for. Another thing, okay, so we got the time lower. When I joined, the company was doing anywhere from 500 to 1000 loans a month. அவ்வளவுதான் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. நாங்க வந்து ஒரு 3-4 வருஷமா ஆட்டோமேஷன்ஸ், டேட்டா மைனிங், டேட்டா யூசிங் டேட்டா, லைக் ஆரோக்கியராஜ் சொல்ற மாதிரி 50,000 ஃபோன் கால்ல இருந்து பிச்சு எடுத்து ஒரு நாளைக்கு 1000 கால் கரெக்டா பண்ணி அந்த 1000 பேரை பிடிக்கணும். அந்த மாதிரிலாம் பண்ணி, so we built a lot of automations, and today where we were doing 1000 loans a month, we are doing 15,000 loans a month. Last month we did 15,000 loans. That I attribute to my success. I used my technology skills, I used what I learned, learned from what I failed, and kind of provided that to the company. So that is, for me, I can think that as success. For you, you define your success. என்னோட எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்ல வந்து நான் ஒண்ணு மட்டும் தைரியமா உங்களுக்கு சொல்றேன், பவர் ஆஃப் பாசிட்டிவ் திங்கிங் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு பாசிட்டிவ் நோட் கொடுக்குறேன். Statistics, data doesn't lie. Statistics proves that things can happen, and statistically it has been proven that 100% of graduates that come out of St. Joseph's College are in some shape or form successful. எங்க செட்டே நாங்க அத்தனை பேருமே வந்து வெளியில காலேஜ் விட்டு வரும்போது இப்ப வந்து 25 வருஷம் கழிச்சு பார்க்கும்போது எல்லாருமே ஒவ்வொரு விதத்துல கரெக்டா இருக்கிறாங்க, எல்லாம் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல் நம்ம சொல்றோம். அதே மாதிரி ஒவ்வொரு செட்டையும் சென்ட் ஜோசப் காலேஜ் அமைச்சிட்டு இருக்கு, உங்களையும் அனுப்புவாங்க. நீங்களும் போய் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருப்பீங்க. But you have to have that confidence in yourself. This college has the confidence to send you out confidently. You build that, take it out. So தைரியமா இருங்க. You will be able to venture out. There is a saying which says, if you want to run faster, run alone. But if you want to run farther, run with your friends. அந்த படத்துல வந்து இந்த ஸ்லைட்ல வந்து மேல ஒருத்தன் தூக்கி விடுறான் அப்படின்னா, எங்களை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் அதுக்கு வந்து நான் சொல்லணும்னா அது காசி. ஆரோக்கியராஜ் சொன்ன மாதிரி எங்களுக்கு வந்து சென்னை அட்ரஸ் கிடையாது, அவன் வீட்டு அட்ரஸ் தான் நாங்களாம் யூஸ் பண்ணோம். இன்ஃபேக்ட் எங்களுக்கு விரும்பாத்துல ஒரு வீடியும் கொடுத்து அதுக்கு வாடகையும் வாங்காம எத்தனை பேர் 20-25 பேர் அந்த வீட்டுல இருந்தோம். ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் வந்து வேலை வந்தோன்னு டக்குன்னு வெளியே போயிட்டு இட் வாஸ் லைக் என்ன சொல்றது, இட் வாஸ் லைக் அ மோட்டல் ஃபார் அஸ். வெரி கிரேட்ஃபுல் டு ஹிம். ஐ ஹவ் நெவர் ஈவன் செட் தட் டு ஹிம். பட் தட் இஸ் வாட் ஒன் அமங் யூ ஆர் a few among you should help each other out. எனக்கு முதல்ல என்னுடைய ரெசுமே யூஎஸ்க்கு வரதுக்கு கொண்டே ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்டு தான், என் கிளாஸ்மேட் மோகன். Somehow, some shape or form, things will happen if you help each other out. ராக்கி சொன்ன மாதிரி ஆண்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப் கூட உங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸோட நீங்க பண்ணும்போது அந்த ட்ரஸ்ட் இருக்கணும். நம்மலாம் ஏன்னா these are the best times of your life and these are the best relationship you will build. So determine what you can control and just worry about that. Don't worry about things that you cannot control. அதை பத்தி வரியே பண்ணாதீங்க. இப்ப என்ன உங்களால கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ண முடியும்? வாதியார் சொல்லி கொடுக்கறத நல்லா படிங்க. இருக்கிற resources, whatever you have, try to use that. Use us, alumni. Reach out to us. Reach out to your seniors. Reach out to your peers. That's all you need to do, and that's all you can control now. And that will put a big confidence in your life to venture out in this world. I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I don't know what I achieved. There are so many big time alumni from St. Joseph's College, but I'm feeling so proud to actually stand in front of you and talk about my experiences. Hopefully something out of this would inspire you. I'll let Rocky finish up the...
Okay, thanks, Nixon. Success as such, it's difficult to define. அதே சமயத்துல வந்து ரொம்பவும் நம்ம ப்ரிப்பேர்டா இருக்க முடியாது. நம்ம லைஃப் 20 years கழிச்சு எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு எப்படி நம்ம கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டம்னு நினைக்கிறேன் நான். பட் எனக்கு ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சி ஞாபகம் இருக்கு. நிக்சன் வந்து நாமெல்லாம் வந்து பாஸ்போர்ட் எடுக்க வேண்டாம் அப்படின்னு, எந்த கண்ட்ரிக்கு போவோம், எப்படி போவோம், யாரை தெரியும்னா எதுவுமே தெரியாது. பட் ஒரு கண்ட்ரிக்கு போகணும்னா பாஸ்போர்ட் வேணும், அதை விட்டுட்டு வேற ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டியே கிடையாது. ஐ திங்க் ஹி வாஸ் சஜஸ்டிங் லைக் துபாய் போகலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. பட் அப்போ நாங்கள் உட்காந்து என்ன பிளான் பண்ணோம்னா, ஓகே நம்ம பாஸ்போர்ட் வேணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அப்புறம் அவங்க வீட்டில் உட்காந்து போய் பாஸ்போர்ட் அப்ளிகேஷன் ஃபார்ம்லாம் ஃபில்அப் பண்ணி we had a passport. When I left the college, I had a passport. It was very useful. ஏன்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா நான் ராம்கோஸ் ஜாயின் பண்ணேன், அவங்க வந்து 1 yearலே நீ யூஎஸ் போ அப்படின்னா I had my passport ready, so everything happened smoothly. So அதனால we had to be prepared for the future, but even though we may not know what exactly the future is. அதே மாதிரி success also, we keep on redefining it. இப்போ வந்து இன்னைக்கு வந்து உங்களுக்கு என்ன சக்சஸ் அப்படின்னு தோணும் அப்படின்னா, எனக்கு வந்து காலேஜில் நல்ல பர்சன்டேஜோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸில் பாஸ் ஆகி வெளில போகணும். ஸோ பாஸ் ஆன அப்புறம் என்ன ஒரு வேலை, ஓகே அந்த கம்பெனியில் போய் என்ன பண்ண போகிறோம் அப்படிங்கிறது கூட நமக்கு பெருசாக தெரியாதா இருக்கும். பட் தட் இஸ் ஓகே. இந்த மாதிரி ஷார்ட் டேர்ம் கோல்ஸ் வச்சுக்கிறது கூட ஆல்சோ இட்ஸ் குட். லைக் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் they say always a great journey starts with the first step. ஸோ எப்படி இருந்தாலும் நீங்கள் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒரு அடி எடுத்து வச்சாதான் நீங்கள் அந்த ஜேர்னியை நீங்கள் கடந்து போக முடியும். So the first step is do the steps right, then obviously you will be in the right place. Like என்னோட வாழ்க்கையிலையும் பார்த்தா அப்படிதான் இருந்தது. முதல்ல வந்து ஓகே ஒரு நல்ல வேலை கிடைக்கணும் அப்படின்ட்டு. ஆக்சுவலி எனக்கு வந்து கடைசியாக தான் வேலை கிடைச்சது. 3/4 பேர் எனக்கு முன்னாடி வேலை கிடைச்சது. லைக் நிக்சன் எல்லாருக்குமே வேலை கிடைச்சிருச்சு, பட் எனக்கு தான் வந்து கடைசியாக வேலை கிடைச்சது. ஸோ அப்போ வந்து ரொம்ப வருத்தமாக தான் இருந்தது. பட் ஸ்டில் you should always be confident that okay, I will get a job, probably something better is there for me or something. அதே மாதிரி ஒரு சில நண்பர்கள் என்ன பண்ணாங்க அப்படின்னா, இப்போ நான் வந்து சி லாங்குவேஜ் தான் அப்போ எல்லாருக்கும் யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க கம்பெனிஸ்ல எல்லாரும். அப்போ ஒரு சில நண்பர்கள் வந்து வேற சில டெக்னாலஜிலாம் படிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. லைக் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் IBM டெக்னாலஜிஸ், மெயின் ஃப்ரேம் டெக்னாலஜிஸ், AS400 டெக்னாலஜிஸ், இந்த மாதிரி. அப்புறம் அவங்களுக்குலாம் அது ஒரு நல்ல மார்க்கெட் வந்து அந்த 2000 இயர் டிரான்சிஷன் அப்ப. ஸோ இட்ஸ் நாட் லைக் ஒரு வழி சிந்தனையாக தான் இருக்கணும், இல்லை ஒரே மாதிரி தான் எல்லாரும் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிறது. உங்களுக்கு எது உங்களுக்கு பெஸ்ட்டாக தோணுதோ, அண்ட் இந்த வாழ்க்கையை உங்களுக்கு எல்லா பாடமும் கற்று தந்துடும். இது ஒன்றும் நான் சொல்றேனோ இல்லையோ, இது கற்று தந்துடும் உங்களுக்கு. அண்ட் ஒன் திங் தட் ஐ லேர்ன், a very important thing in my life is don't compete with others, compete with yourself. So which is நேத்தியை விட நான் அன்னைக்கு நல்லா இருக்கேன்னா, அவ்வளவுதான் கேள்வி கேட்கணும். நான் அவனை விட நான் நல்லா இருக்கேன்னா அப்படின்னு கேட்டோம்னா அது வந்து பல மனக்குழப்பங்களுக்கும் பல பிரச்சனைகளுக்கு உருவாகும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஸோ ஐ ஆல்வேஸ் வாண்ட் am I better than yesterday? போன செமஸ்டரை விட இந்த செமஸ்டர் நல்லா மார்க் வாங்கியிருக்கேன்னா அப்படின்னு அந்த மாதிரி சிந்திச்சோம்னா ஐ திங்க் இட் வில் பி மச், மனதளவிலையும் அது வந்து உங்களுக்கு ஒரு நிறைவு தரும். ஓகே, நான் வந்து இந்த தடவை நான் நல்லா பண்ணியிருக்கேன் அப்படிங்கிறதும், அதே சமயம் உங்களுக்கு கான்ஃபிடன்ஸும் பூஸ்ட் ஆகும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அண்ட் as Nixon said, உங்களோட நாலேஜை மற்றவங்களுக்கும் ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க. அண்ட் இப்போ உங்களுக்கு 1 year இருக்கு உங்களுக்கு பிளான் பண்றதுக்கு. ஸோ யூ பிளான் இட் அவுட் ரியலி வெல். ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் எந்தெந்த கம்பெனிஸ்லாம் வந்து டேட்டா சயின்ஸ் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் ஒர்க் பண்றாங்க, என்ன மாதிரி ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் ஒர்க் பண்றாங்க. இன்னொரு ஒரு பெரிய பிரச்சனை என்னன்னா, இப்போ உள்ள உலகத்துல வந்து உங்களுக்கு காம்படிஷன் அதிகம், முன்ன மாதிரி கிடையாது. Anybody can come and compete against you. A person in Delhi also can come and compete against you. அந்த ஒரு பிரச்சனை இருக்கிறதுனால நீங்க வந்து உங்களை பிரதானப்படுத்துறதுக்கு உங்களோட வெப்சைட் கூட போய் பார்த்தேன் நான். பட் நீங்க அங்க வந்து இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் டேட்டா சயின்ஸ் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ்லாம் கூட போடலாம். நீங்க போட்டு நம்ம அந்த காலேஜோட உழைப்பு, உங்களுடைய திறமைகள் எல்லாம் வெளிப்படுத்துறதா ஒரு விதமா இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Anyway, I wish you all the best, guys. I'm sure you're all going to come out in beautiful colors. And whether you found love today or not, but I'm sure you would have got some ideas today and some positive energy, I think. Okay? Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Arockiaraj and Nixon. What a wonderful seminar, or the things you have given to us. Very amazing. And a lot of points are very inspiring, even for us. We are the same board, we are the same age, we all studied together, but even after this many years, the message you conveyed is still true, and it's still valid for many people, and it is appropriate for many other generations, So thank you so much for all that, the friendship and the bonding, how important it is. அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது. ராஜேஷ் வீட்டில் போயிட்டு அந்த பிரிண்டரை ஷேர் பண்ணி ப்ராஜெக்ட் ரிப்போர்ட் அடிச்ச ஒரு ஆள் நானும் தான். The very reason is I came from a very poor family. எனக்கு அந்த டைம்ல வந்து ப்ராஜெக்ட் ரிப்போர்ட்டை போய் ஒரு கம்ப்யூட்டர் சென்டர்ல கொடுத்து இல்லை ஒரு கம்ப்யூட்டரை பர்சனலாக வச்சு டைப் பண்ணி பண்ற அளவுக்கு வசதிகள் கிடையாது. ஸோ அந்த டைம்ல எல்லாம் ராஜேஷ் வீட்டில் போயிட்டு நைட்லாம் அங்கே உட்காந்து அங்கே பயங்கர கலக்கலா இருக்கும். அதில் காஃபிலாம் வேற கொடுப்பாங்க அவங்க வீட்டில். அங்கே பசங்க உட்காந்துருக்கவங்களுக்கு டீலாம் வரும், ஸோ ஸ்நாக்ஸ் வரும். இந்த மாதிரி வந்து அந்த ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் வந்து ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட், அஸ் யூ செட், அந்த பாண்டிங். நிக்சன் நீ சொன்ன மாதிரி அந்த உங்களில் சில பேர் வந்து அந்த பேர் இருப்பாங்க. ஸோ அவங்க வந்து டெஃபினட்டா யூ ஷுட் ஹெல்ப் அதர்ஸ், அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கான்செப்டை கொடுத்தீங்க. ரொம்ப அருமையா இருந்தது. இட் வாஸ் ஃபண்டாஸ்டிக். அதே மாதிரி தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் ஃபார் ஷேரிங் யுவர் பர்சனல் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்சஸ் அண்ட் யுவர் ஸ்ட்ரகிள் அண்ட் த ஜேர்னி யூ ஹேட் ஃபார் திஸ் மெனி இயர்ஸ். அமேசிங், ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது. ஒரு கொஸ்டின் நிக்சன், இது என்ன பாசிட்டிவ் திங்கிங்ல என்ன கொஸ்டின் கேட்கறாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு சந்தேகமா இருக்கா. ஒரு குட் கொஸ்டின் ஐ திங்க். Okay, you said you have a 20 years old daughter, 10-year-old son, and 4-year-old daughter. So when I put, how many? What was it?
4-year-old dog.
Oh, 4-year-old dog. Okay, then the data I heard was wrong, so I cannot ask the question now. Okay. தனியா பேசிக்கலாம். Okay. So my mind went, I put a formula and all that. What pattern he is following? 10, 20, 10, 4. Is it going to be 3 next year? I got confused. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. அதே மாதிரி அந்த ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் அப்படின்னு சொல்றப்ப வளன் வளன் அரசுமணிங்கிறது ஹீஸ் மை கிளாஸ்மேட். நாங்க பிஜி கிளாஸ்மேட்ஸ் தான். ஐம் ஷேரிங் திஸ் ஃபார் ஆல் த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் அஸ் வெல். அவர் வளன் வந்து என்கிட்ட வந்து ஒரு C++ புக்கு கொடுத்தான். ஒரு சின்ன புக், C++ புக். அந்த புக் எப்படி என்னோட லைஃபை சேஞ்ச் பண்ணுச்சு அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து ஐ cannot எக்ஸ்பிளைன் now. The reason is, ஸோ ஜாபுக்கு அலைஞ்சிக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். வீட்டில் வந்து அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு வசதியான ஃபேமிலி இல்லை. ஒரு கம்ப்யூட்டர் சென்டருக்கு போயிட்டு ஒரு C++ ப்ரோக்ராம் வந்து ட்ரை பண்ணி பார்த்து ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் எப்படி ஒர்க் ஆகுது, ஏன்னா எங்கே போனாலும் கேட்குறாங்க. எனக்கு அந்த மாதிரி ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸ் எதுவுமே இல்லை. அந்த புக்கை மட்டும்தான் படித்தேன். அந்த புக்கை எவ்வளோ தரவாக படிக்கணுமோ, கம்ப்யூட்டர் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் கிடையாது. ஒரு கோடு கூட அதில் வந்து நான் வந்து ஒரு சின்ன ஹலோ வேர்ல்ட் ப்ரோக்ராம் கூட நான் போட்டு பார்த்ததில்லை C++ல. ஆனால் அந்த புக்கோட நாலேஜை வச்சு ஐ வென்ட் டு த C++ எக்ஸாம்ஸ். போன இடத்துல பாஸ் பண்ணி ஐ காட் த ஜாப். ஸோ எதுக்கு சொல்ல வரேன்னா, அந்த ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் வந்து ரொம்ப முக்கியமானது. நீங்கள்லாம் வந்து அந்த ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப்பை வந்து நீங்கள் வந்து மெயின்டைன் பண்ணணும். அதை ஜஸ்ட் பி வித். இப்போ வந்து அன்ஃபார்ச்சுனேட்லி இவ்வளோ நாள் பேண்டமிக்ல இருந்தோம். இப்போ வந்து காலேஜ் ஓப்பன் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஜஸ்ட் மேக் தட். நல்லா என்ஜாய் பண்ணுங்க. அந்த 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 ஃபன்னு அந்த இதெல்லாம் இருக்கப்பதான் வந்து அந்த ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து நிறையா இருக்கும். அதை வந்து நீங்கள் யூஸ் பண்ணுங்க அப்படிங்கிறது தான். அப்புறம் வந்து எல்லாமே ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது. சக்ஸஸ் ஸ்டோரிலாம் ரொம்ப அருமையாக இருந்துச்சு. 100% ஆஃப் த ஜோசஃபைட்ஸ் they are in a good place. That's true. That is true. அதனால வந்து thank you so much for bringing up all this positive energies here today, Nixon and Arockiaraj. Thank you so much. இது வந்து not only for the students, even for us, we need that. It's a very positive, very inspiring. Now we can the definition for entrepreneur, amazing. I never heard this one anywhere, anybody in any book, you know. So thank you, Arockiaraj. That's a wonderful definition. I was thinking entrepreneur means I need to start a company. It has to be a big building and to be a boss and managing multiple people. No, that's a very good explanation you gave. That's a great eye opener for us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Nice to meet you all. Arockiaraj, Nixon.
Yeah, Saveri, how are you?
Yeah, good, man. Good.
Yeah, long time no see. Morley.
Yeah.
He's with the same mustache, man.
See, Nixon, yeah. I am the good example of power of positive thinking. So even in the first series, I was telling Bert, if I can survive, anybody can survive. So, even I told, like, so far in my life, nothing was harder than the electricity, magnetism that we studied. So,
yeah. It's good to see you all, guys, after a long time.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for the organizers and Arockiam sir. இது வந்து எங்களுக்கு நீங்க வந்து ஒரு புது அனுபவத்தை கொடுத்திருக்கீங்க. அதுக்கு ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ்.
Nixon.
Yes sir.
Nixon ரொம்ப நல்ல ஷேரிங், அருமையான ஷேரிங். And Arok.
Yes sir.
Arok.
சொல்லுங்க சார்.
ரொம்ப நல்ல ஷேரிங். Definite of all the students should have been inspired by your input. நல்ல பாயிண்ட் சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க. முக்கியமான பாயிண்ட் நான் பார்க்கறது வந்து மற்றவனோட கம்பேர் பண்ணாத, உன்னை நீ கம்பேர் பண்ணி பாரு. சூப்பர். பவர் ஆஃப் பாசிட்டிவ் திங்கிங்ல நிறைய பாயிண்ட் சொல்லியிருக்காரு. ஐ ரியலி தேங்க் போத். நீங்க நேரா வந்து பேசணும்னு ஆசைப்படுறேன். when you come to India, please make a visit to St. Joseph's. We are always looking for people like you to address our students. When they see you, they get inspired. They get inspired by your words. We are thankful. St. Joseph's வந்து எப்பவுமே உங்களை பெருமையா பேசிக்கிட்டே தான் இருப்போம். Especially your batch of students who are very much connected with each other. The friendship that you are maintaining. I appreciate both for coordinating. திரும்ப வந்து எல்லாரையும் ஒன்று சேர்க்கிற ஒரு ஹப் மாதிரி பர்த். I just made a request to him. He has taken up so much the idea and he has done it so wonderfully. He is organizing, coordinating, making people get interact. Really ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். Before we get retired, நாங்க நிறைய விஷயங்கள் செஞ்சுட்டு போயிடுன்னு பார்க்குறோம். You please come to St. Joseph's. Sometimes when time permits, when you have a chance to come to India, please make a visit to St. Joseph's. Murali sir, I am very, very happy to meet you.
Yeah, yes, sir. Same with me.
Welcome. ரொம்ப நாள் ஆயிட்டு. I didn't join for the last meeting. I was on a travel, so I couldn't join. But I don't want to miss you all when there is a chance to meet you all.
Sir,
I am taken up. Yeah. Please.
Professor Arockiaraj sir.
Yeah.
நான் உங்களுக்கு என்ன ஞாபகம் இருக்கான்னு தெரியல, நானும் அதே பேட்ச் தான். 88, 91 ரூபகுமார். நான் இன்னைக்கு லாகின் பண்ணும்போது நீங்க பேசிட்டு இருந்தீங்க. நான் வீடியோ இன்னும் வரல. ஆனா இம்மீடியட்டா எனக்கு இது ஆரோக்கியம் சார் அப்படின்னு எனக்கு immediate that moment, that the fraction of that moment when I heard your voice, I recognized your voice.
He's a voice recognizer.
Thank you. Can I see your face now? Highlight பண்ணி காட்டுமா?
சார் அவர்தான் சார் எங்க கிளாஸ் ஹீரோ ரூபகுமார்.
Yeah, most welcome. Happy to see you all together at least.
Thank you, sir.
I'll be very happy if you connect Valan also. Sometimes you bring him.
Yeah,
True.
But I think we had to do a complete Zoom reunion.
He has to do that.
Is he running in India?
No, he's
Valan?
not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Valan is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, close to me.
Okay. Good. Convey my
Hey,
regards
Mani, எப்படி இருக்க?
and to your friends at US and other places.
Dr. Krish, Mani wants to be on the video mode.
No, I got
Mani, are you able to? Okay.
Yeah, long time, Mani. How are you?
long time no see. Yeah.
Yeah, Mani, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
ஏய் மணி, அப்புறம் கால் முடிஞ்சது கூப்பிடுமா?
Yeah, sure.
அவர் 30 இயர்ஸ்க்கு அப்புறம் உன்னை கூப்பிடுறாரு.
ஆமா, பழைய கதையெல்லாம் பேசணும்ல.
ஆமா.
Very nice. Very happy that.
Any questions from the students or anything they want to share or anything?
Krish, father principal join பண்ணிருக்காங்களா?
No, sir. I hope.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Dear participants, I have shared the feedback link about this webinar. So kindly give your valuable feedback. And dear students, if you have any questions or clarifications, you can ask the guest speakers right now.
But this question goes to Nixon. Nixon, could you say?
Sir, எனக்கு கேட்கல actually.
Your
friendship has made you to grow. Work culture பத்தி ஒரு வார்த்தை சொல்லலாம். And the next question goes to Arok, who is a technology man. What skill sets are required to be a successful person in the data industry?
I couldn't hear the first question, sir.
Yeah, work culture. You have talked about friendship. You have cherished your friendship and how it has helped you to grow.
Yes. So yeah, work culture. That was a key in the part of the success story.
Maintained by the students. Yeah, in the campus while they are in the campus. Yes.
Oh, you're while in the campus?
Yeah, ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு ஷேரிங் இப்போலாம் அந்த ஒர்க் கல்ச்சர் ரொம்ப குறைஞ்சிட்ட மாதிரி இருக்கு. அதனால நீங்க what is the expectation of the industry as far as the work culture is concerned and how it should be? எப்படி தொடங்கணும் இங்க காலேஜ் கேம்பஸ்க்குள்ள அப்படின்னு சொல்லி few words.
Yeah, so that is the part of where you set your goals, right? So for me, I take pride in what I do. நான் வந்து ஆஃபீஸ்க்கு இப்போ நான் ஒரு கம்பெனிக்கு தான் வேலை செய்கிறேன், இல்லை நானே ஒரு கம்பெனி வச்சிருந்தேன் கூட, இப்போ கம்பெனிக்கு வேலை செய்கிறேன்னா என்னுடைய ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி, எனக்கு கம்பெனியில் வந்து ஒரு லீட் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி கொடுத்துருக்குறாங்கன்னா ஐ டேக் ப்ரைட் இன் வாட் ஐ அக்கம்ப்ளிஷ். அதாவது நான் காலையில் எந்திரிச்சேன்னா ஆஃபீஸ் போகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடியே ஐ வில் ஹேவ் இன் மை மைண்ட் வாட் ஐ நீட் டு அக்கம்ப்ளிஷ் தட் டே, என்ன நான் பண்ணணும் ஏது பண்ணணும்ட்டு. ஐ டோன்ட் எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் somebody else to come and tell me நீ இதை பண்ணணும்ட்டு. அது வந்து ஸ்டார்டிங் ஃப்ரம் மை ஒர்க், நான் என்னுடைய கெரியர் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றதுலேருந்தே நான் அப்படிதான் இருந்தேன். நான் வந்து ஐ டோன்ட் வெயிட் ஃபார் சம்படி, மை சீனியர்ஸ் ஆர் மை மேனேஜர் டு கம் அண்ட் சே இது பண்ணணும் பாட்டு. நானா வந்து சரி சார் இது பண்ண எப்படி, why don't we do that? So it is, you have to build that ethic, the work ethic, which is part of something you train yourself. சும்மா நான் ஏதோ ஒரு வேலை செய்யறேன் நான் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி நினைக்காம நம்ம செய்யற வேலையை வந்து you have to be proud of yourself. And I feel very proud after I do something and somebody in the company or my customers come and tell me நீங்க பண்ணது சூப்பரா இருக்குப்பா, it's very useful for us. I feel so happy about that. So that is something which I think every one of us have been doing in this country, as a matter of fact, because if you don't do that, your success will be diminished because of that. I hope I answered the question appropriately.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Within the campus, how should they be trained? Something like that. I wanted எவ்வளவு தூரம் படிக்க, எவ்வளவு தூரம் அவங்க வந்து நேரத்தை செலவு பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு ஒரு 1 or 2 சென்டென்சஸ்ல. ஏன்னா இப்ப நிறைய விளையாட்டுத்தனமான ஒரு போக்கு வருது இல்ல, அதை எப்படி இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில போய் எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன் வேற மாதிரி இருக்கு, இதை எப்படி அவங்க இப்பவே வளர்த்துக்கிடன்னு.
இல்ல அதுதான் நம்ம படிக்கும் போது நாங்களும் விளையாட்டுத்தனமான சில விஷயங்கள்லாம் செஞ்சோம். அதாவது உங்களுக்கே தெரியும் கிளாஸ்ல எல்லாம் நம்ம, பட் we never lost our focus. அது எங்களுக்கு வந்து என்னன்னா, எனக்கு இப்போ நான் அந்த ஒரு செமஸ்டர் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் செமஸ்டர் நம்ம பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா we had all these courses, we did our playful things, but our focus was to get good grades, to study and learn from what you guys are teaching us. அதை வந்து என்னதான் இருந்தாலும் விளையாட்டுத்தனமா இருந்தா கூட அதை விட்டுறக்கூடாது. அவங்க அது வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் செமஸ்டர்ல இருந்தே ஆரம்பிச்சாதான் it becomes a habit for them to keep on doing that. ஒவ்வொரு செமஸ்டரும் வந்து you compare to yourself that what you did in the previous semester and what better you can do in the next semester. That will help the students in what they can achieve in the third semester. So it is something which you build. நீங்களா அதை வந்து உருவாக்கிக்கணும்.
And to add, Nixon, one thing is that what, after 30 years, what you learn, a fundamental concept doesn't change. When we started basic Fortran, Pascal, the program, but that is a foundation. Like no subject is like, oh, this in the market. Whatever you're learning, even the assembly language programming, when you learn that is useful at some time, because that is where your logical thinking coming. How do you construct? How do you write program? How do you optimize? All subject, there is something to it. So what I regret, actually, we probably should have one session on what all I regret I didn't learn. We should have spent more thing like, focusing on the big picture. Okay, whatever I'm learning about church katrana, or kall important. So every language, every subject, whether it's data operations, whatever you're learning, it's helpful in the future to build a big church.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Now I asked Arok to say, as a data scientist, what are the skills required? Just in 1 or 2 sentences you can describe, so that they will start.
Sure, sir. Yeah. I'm not a full-time data scientist, but in office data scientist பேசின வரைக்கும் அவங்களோட இன்ட்ராக்ஷன்ஸ் வச்சு plus what I have learned on the internet வச்சு நான் சொல்றேன். So Python language is what we use for data scientist things. Java use பண்றது கிடையாது, and I don't think Java is a favorite in data science world. It's mostly Python. அதுக்கப்புறம் அதோட related libraries like scikit library to the linear regression, the algorithms எல்லாம் அது பார்த்துக்கோங்க நீங்கள். லீனியர் ரெக்ரெஷன், கே மீன்ஸ் அல்காரிதம், அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய இருக்கு, அது பார்த்துக்கோங்க. அண்ட் ரெக்கமெண்டேஷன் லைப்ரரி இருக்கு. அண்ட் இப்போ எனக்கு ப்ரோக்ராமிங் பிடிக்கல அப்படின்னு சில பேர் சொல்கிறோம், அப்படி ஒரு ஃபீலிங் இருந்ததுன்னா யூ கேன் கோ டூல்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ண ஆரம்பிங்க. லைக் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ரேபிட் மைனர்னு டூல் இருக்கு டு லுக் அட் டேட்டா அண்ட் இன்டர்பிரேட்டட். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி டூல்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கும் சான்சஸ் இருக்கு. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு எந்த சைடு போகணுங்கிறத நீங்கள் டிசைட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். மெயின்லி இட்ஸ் பைத்தான் லாங்குவேஜ் அண்ட் இட்ஸ் லைப்ரரிஸ். அண்ட் நீங்கள் kaggle.com வெப்சைட் போனீங்கனாலே உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஐடியா கிடைச்சிடும் சார், என்ன மாதிரி ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில இருக்கு அப்படின்ட்டு.
தேங்க்யூ Arok.
That's a good website, sir. It's a good Arockiaraj. You brought it up even. That's a kaggle.com, right? The students should explore that.
Thank you, Bert.
Thank you, sir.
And all the resource persons who have given a wonderful input session today. I thank the coordinator, core team members, which includes the Bert and Sundar, Lata, and others. I thank the local coordinators, Dr. Prashant and other members of the faculty. I hope that we will get many more chances like this to have an interaction. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, one last note. You asked about what do you need for the data science. The Arockiaraj, you asked the Arockiaraj. Last time, money எடுத்த அந்த செஷன்ல the material, the slides நம்ம வந்து ஆன்லைன்ல இருக்கு. That has the complete picture of what to be a data scientist and என்ன ப்ரொஃபைல் வேணும், இன்னைக்கு இண்டஸ்ட்ரி என்ன எதிர்பார்க்குது அப்படிங்கிறதுல நிறைய டீடைல்ஸ் இருக்கு அதுல. Maybe that will be useful for the students.
Yeah, thank you.
But I'll also send these slides along with a book on blockchain, so people can download and read it.
Yes. Okay. And we also need your slides, Thomas, if you don't mind. We can.
Yeah. I'll send the slides and I'll send a book also on blockchain, so people can download.
So we will be using only internally in the college.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Internet only. So we don't go out.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So before wind up our session, I would like to request Mr. Santosh to propose the vote of thanks.
I'm audible, sir.
Yes, audible. Proceed, Santosh.
Yes, honorable chief guest, respected speakers, our beloved staff, and my dear participants. Happy evening to all. It's my pleasure to conclude this great webinar with my vote of thanks. At first, I'd like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Batalam Joseph sir, for introducing your good friend to this webinar and also sharing your words on friendship. And we have also seen that in this Zoom call. Thank you, sir. And talking about blockchain and digital currency, Mr. Thomas Arul sir has showed us a new field to shine in the near future. Thank you for that, sir. And positive people will create always the positive vibes. And today, both of our speakers, Mr. Nixon Edward sir and Mr. Arockiaraj sir, have shared their food experiences they have faced in their life, and I believe that almost every point was and will be very useful in the near future for us. And I'm also sure that we will be very playful, and we will be very focused in our ideas, sir, in the next 2 years. Thank you for that, sir. And my special thanks to Dr. Arockiaraj sir for sharing your thoughts on data science. And I got to thank Mr. Dr. Arockiaraj sir, our department, for his welcome address and heading us through this session. Thank you, sir. My heartfelt thanks to the technical staff and support staff and all the volunteers for this webinar. Thank you, guys. And my final thank to all the participants. Despite it's Sunday evening, you have came here in a huge numbers. Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys, and have a great evening. Thank you.
Also, I'd like to thank our Vice Principal, Reverend Dr. Santiago SJ, and also the ICT supporting staff and Mr. Mohan. We'd like to thank you for your constant support to host this webinar successfully. Thank you.
Thank you.